Hey everybody, so today what I want to talk to you about is these new gloves that I got. I got them a little while ago, a little before Christmas actually, and I've been meaning to put something up, so this is what my review on the Hayabusa Ikusa gloves. They were fairly new when I bought them, like the company had just come out with them, and I have a lot of gloves. I've been boxing for, on and off for about 6 years, and even when I don't box, like when I'm not competitive about it, I still, like do a lot of the training and stuff just because I like it. So I do buy gloves very often. Some people are like sneaker freaks. I'm boxing glove freaks. I just love gloves. So out of all the gloves that I've ever had, for training purposes, these are the best, one of the best pairs that I've ever had. Reason being, like comparing it to one of these type gloves. Now they're, the Ikusa gloves are, they're not that expensive, but they do cost a little more than your average glove. I got these gloves a few years ago. I was kind of just looking to get an extra pair just to do, extra bag training. I had another pair of gloves that I use only for sparring. So I got these gloves, and these ran for about, I think, $16 at the time. And I mean, they're good gloves, but they have your basic, strap, gloves now. Look, I've seen like a lot of Everlast gloves nowadays. They just give you like a little strap here that you put. It's not a full strap, and I don't like that, the little short strap. I don't have a pair of gloves like that because I don't like them. I like the full strap, because I feel like it just locks in better. It's a lot more support. It's easier to do on your own too. If you have one glove on and you're trying to put the other one on, as much, as weird as it looks, you kind of just grab it with your teeth. And you can do that kind of thing real quick. So that's why I really like this kind of strap. When you have the shorter straps that usually only go to about here, it's hard to do that. I don't really like it. With these gloves though, they're very stiff. I mean, these are 14-ounce gloves. They're very stiff. They're not, there's really not that much padding around the wrist, and they're really just not comfortable right here in this area here, like where my thumb is. It's just very tight. The padding is actually kind of hard. So, you get cheap gloves, you're going to get cheap quality is basically, where I'm going with this. But as far as the Ikusa gloves, these are, I teach some boxing classes, like aerobic classes at my gym, and, sometimes if I want to just demonstrate things, these are the kind of gloves that, like, honestly, sometimes I really don't even need to wrap my hands to work the bag. I can probably just do a few rounds without my hands wrapped. Now, I wouldn't recommend that to anybody, but that's how comfortable they feel. The cushion, you can just tell, the difference. And this kind of glove, the cheaper glove, they're a little stiffer. If you can't really, obviously you can't feel it, but I can feel it. It's just very stiff right here. It's hard to like squeeze. These gloves, they have a lot of padding, but they're just so, like, you can tell as I can kind of squeeze it, and they're just more, they just move more. They're a lot more comfortable, and especially around the thumb area, they're definitely a lot more comfortable than the other one. And what I really like about this is they have this double strap. So this one is actually, I have a pair that also has a double strap, but this one is actually a lot tighter. The other ones that I have kind of just strap fairly easy. Like, as you can see, this kind of opens pretty easy. This one is actually kind of tough to open, so it's really good. It really gives you a lot of support around the wrist. The only thing that I found is that with this kind of glove, when you have the double strap like this, if this first strap here is a little too tight, when you tie it up, it kind of bothers me a little right here by my wrist. So I just, make sure when you wrap it, kind of just leave it a little loose, but it's definitely good to help keep it in. Like, my hands feel very secure already. And once I fully, strap it up, now I'm very comfortable. I can move my hand fairly easy. Right here, especially in the thumb area, it's very comfortable. They give you a lot of like extra room here with the leather, and the padding that you have around here is just really good. I really like the way it's fit. It curves right into it, whereas gloves like these, you see there's like a lot of space here. So it's, sometimes what happens is when I'm hitting something, or especially during sparring, I might hit my thumb, and it really, like, it hurts like your nail. Like, you hit your thumb and you kind of hurt like where the nail is, and you get a little bruise, and it's just uncomfortable. But the way these gloves are curved in like that, it's almost like if I hit the wrong way, I kind of hit this part here. So I haven't really hurt my thumb the way I would with other gloves. If you every now and then, if you just hit the wrong spot or you punch it correctly, I just feel like the way the padding is curved, it helps a lot more with that. And it's so much easier to squeeze, when you have cheaper gloves that are stiff, or, the padding is unproportionate sometimes on the inside when you grab. It's just very uncomfortable. It's hard to, you kind of got to like squeeze on your own. These gloves are kind of just formed that way already. If you can see, I can open my hands and it'll just go right back by itself. Like, I'm not squeezing right now, it's just there. Where you see these gloves give you a little space, You know, so I have to actually squeeze. These are just formed that way, so it's just very comfortable around my hand. So, you know, these gloves run you a little bit under $100, but honestly, if you're gonna look into buying, you know, gloves, like these are definitely a really good pair to get. They're gonna last you a very long time. They're very good with the protection around your knuckles. Very good with the protection around your wrist. You can see the difference. Like if I were to just close this one up really quick, you see the wrist padding compared to this one. There's just a lot more padding here, so there's a lot more protection. Plus it's got that double strap, so it really does a good job, especially once your hands are wrapped. It really does a good job of just protecting your hand all around. So once you're here, you know, obviously always wrap your hands before you wear the gloves. But like I said, you know, if it's like, if you're an instructor like I am, you know, and you kind of just like, you're kind of running late or whatever, these are like great gloves to just throw on real quick and just be, you know that you're going to be protected whether you have your hands wrapped or not. But again, always wrap them, obviously. And you know, one thing I really like about it is also they have some padding right here about where the bone is. So with these kind of gloves, there's no padding at all. You know, it's just leather, and they have this like little thick piece here. And again, this is just this pair of gloves, but a lot of gloves that I've seen don't really have this. Some gloves, especially some of the newer Everlast gloves, have like a mesh thing here, and there's really no padding right here. This is actually like a little padding right here also. So it's really good, like, you know, especially like for MMA training, if you're gonna do like hammer fists, like on a dummy or whatever. This is just really good, and really good, awesome all-around glove. And the fit is perfect. You know, it fits very snug. It's very cool and protected, and it really looks cool. I mean, I really just like the look of the glove. I love the lettering here, the way they have it colored. I don't know if you can really see it, but it has like different color white, like an off-white and then a white. So there's like the rays, like the Hayabusa, really a lot of their products have. So it's just all around awesome glove. I definitely would recommend to anybody. Again, it's a little bit under $100, but it's definitely worth it. So if you guys are looking into buying a pair of gloves that are going to last you a long time, this is the pair I would recommend to everybody. So I hope this helps anybody out there. Thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe, and comment.